Hey, look, guys, I may stop this series altogether, but shout out to Swegwin, shout out to Private Plan for being cool with me, well, for being cool with me, and shout out to Swegwin for being cool with me for watching this and adding my own little takes on it. I appreciate you guys and appreciate everyone that has been watching along. Sincerely. Wow, look, we got an 888 on this episode. Look at this. This is 888 likes. Look at that synchronicity. Hold on. I don't know if I got the right thing. Let's see. No, I don't got it connected yet. Look at that. Right there. 888. But yeah. So appreciate you guys for watching along. I'll stop at tier 5 and then I'll watch along in the background. But Swaggy got my support. Let's keep on keeping on. All right, here we go. Part 1. Again, I'll stop in the middle somewhere, but let's do it.
Hello and welcome back to the massive YouTube iceberg. Today we'll be finishing up tier 4, but before we do that, one of my commenters pointed out that I accidentally skipped over one of the entries from the last video. I don't even know how it happened. I had it recorded and everything, and I guess I just forgot to put it in the last one, so I'll do that first and get on with the rest of the list. 7 Awesome Kids, formerly known as 7 Super Girls, was a YouTube channel supposedly run by a group of 7 underage girls ranging from ages 8 to 18 that first joined in 2008. Their videos would consist of vlogs, skits, DIY stuff, and just a lot of stuff you'd expect young girls to be posting about. There were several channels under the brand such as 7 Awesome Kids, 7 Perfect Angels, 7 Fabulous Teens, etc, etc, with the most popular one having around 9.5 million subscribers. On the surface level, nothing was really wrong with these channels. However, in August 2018, the real owner of the channel, Ian Rylett, was arrested due to allegations of sexual exploitation. He apparently made one of the 16-year-old girls dress in front of him, verbally abused her.
Swag, when you commented on my last one and said that it was pretty valid hoping for some positivity in the beginning of these Iceberg videos. What is this, dude? We're 1 minute into the video. We're 1 minute into the video. Oh man, let's keep it going. Oh Jesus. It's horrible, man.
And also began groping her. He was sentenced to 3 months in prison, 5 years of probation, and was banned from holding any job that would involve minors whatsoever. All of his YouTube channels were also terminated, making 7 Awesome Kids the most subscribed YouTube channel to be terminated, at least for the time. Kinda didn't want to start the whole video on something like that, but I guess that's my fault. Possibly in Michigan is a short horror film released in 1983 by Cecilia Condit with music by Karen Sklandy. The story of the short film follows 2 women walking around a shopping mall while being followed by a strange man in a weird mask. It features surrealist humor and touches on the predatory nature of dating and romance. I'm personally not very well versed in horror media, but the general consensus says that this is a very unique piece of art, and I've gotta say I really have never seen anything like it. As the top comment mentions, it's kind of hard to imagine this is like a real piece of media that people create.
I really cannot imagine people filming this. Like, there's no way that this didn't just spawn into existence one day. It's been around for eons and it's just changing.
You know? It's one of those. Just talking about it, I can't really do it justice. I'd recommend watching it for yourself if you're interested, as with anything mentioned in the series.
Yeah. Sorry guys if I seem a little off too. I'm kind of also trying to balance like when to speak or when to just enjoy watching it. I don't know. I feel really heavily self-critical lately. Yeah. I'm not gonna elaborate too much. I accidentally slammed my space bar. But that seemed like a pretty cool little horror film. Creepy ads. Yeah.
YouTube ads can vary between a lot of things, at least when you're not getting the same 5 like Liberty Mutual or TikTok ads. The criteria to get...
You know the ads I've been getting right now? I don't know when this video was shot. A year ago? Yeah, still get Liberty Mutual, but you know what ads I get now? I get the freaking... Yes, the government is trying to scam you. Did you register already for your $600 or $6,500 subsidy? The government has been hiding money from you and giving it to the people that aren't even legal in the country. I'm like, what the fuck are these ads? How much are these people getting paid for these ads and to spam them, bro? And some they started off as AI, right? Like they would grab like someone like, since he was in the last video and he came straight to mind, they will grab like Joe Rogan's voice, or well, I was gonna say Andrew Tate first, but Andrew Tate, they'll grab Joe Rogan and they'll put the AI voice in it. I'm just like, what are these ads, bro?
Your ad on YouTube was surprisingly at one point very loose. For example, controversy arose around 2018, leading up to the release of the horror film in the Conjuring series, The Nun. An ad aired across all of YouTube for this film. It starts with a black screen with a text caption that tells you to come closer to the screen, then shows a volume slider that slowly goes up, and then without warning, an incredibly loud jump scare of the titular nun shows up on screen in a ghost car-esque method of advertising. How this was even allowed to be a YouTube ad is beyond me, and people really didn't take kindly to it, and for good reason. Another example of a creepy YouTube ad is, well, Bob Hickman, the God Has Entered My Body guy. Some people have documented that they've received some of his videos as YouTube advertisements, so apparently they're just letting anyone in at this point. I actually forgot to mention this aspect about his channel when I covered him like literally last video, so I'm glad this wasn't far behind. Bob just really loves getting his word out. Other creepy YouTube ads include NSFW sex ads, which are probably creepy if you're like 12, this Linkin Park 100 Gex ad that people were getting, a Japanese guy named Boxman who talks into the camera while wearing a costume made of cardboard boxes, and Dr. Itch, a German user who also talks on the camera while wearing a strange costume while pitching his voice up. These are all pretty weird and not what you'd expect from an advertisement on YouTube, although honestly I wish I had these instead of the same ones I kept getting. Besides the nun one, fuck that.
Yeah, the nun one, I don't remember getting jump scared by it, but I remember seeing it.
Benjamin Bennett.
And I never knew also that it wasn't like wildly liked, but with good reason.
Is a YouTuber who is most popular for being the host of the series Sitting and Smiling, where he just sits down in front of a live stream for 4 whole hours and smiles. That's it. He just sits there and smiles. He doesn't speak, never changes his facial expression, and doesn't even move. Of course, that's not to say every video is alike, as in some of them, certain things happen that are beyond Benjamin's control. In episode 5, a burglar breaks into Benjamin's house and finds him sitting and smiling, and says, "Hello?" Benjamin completely ignores him in favor of doing his thing. The burglar then just straight up leaves, presumably intimidated by his presence. In episode 52, Benjamin seems to piss himself with a large puddle slowly emerging from below his leg. In episodes 238 and 257, he begins crying halfway through for unexplained reasons. When asked why he does this series at all, he said to Vice Media, "There isn't really a purpose. My inbox is full of people asking me why I'm doing this, but I don't think that question is really applicable to this type of activity." Many people have theorized that perhaps someone is forcing him to do this, but no, this is just performance art. Really strange performance art.
Yeah, like, oh my gosh, like, I guess you gotta grow up in this sort of internet culture to understand, I guess, or to like kind of, I guess really to people who are outside the types of things that pop up on the internet, this would be very like out there for you. I don't know if I'm even beginning to like frame this right, but I feel like because I'm gonna give my own personal thing, because I feel like I personally have just seen a lot of weird shit on the internet. I'm desensitized to shit like this. And also like Earth just keeps getting weirder and weirder as the internet has evolved and allowed people to post whatever. On my Instagram story, if you guys want to go follow me on it, I'm just joking, shameless plug. But on my Instagram, I posted this video right here, and I actually sent it to myself because I was going to do a commentary video. I have the caption on it, and it says, "I'll say it once more, y'all are getting too comfortable online." I'm going to save it for a video, but if you want to go see it before it's a video, go to my Instagram. It's this Japanese woman named Dewey Cho, I think. They're Dewey Chu. And she takes a shit in the video, and she's like, "I take shit in," and then goes, "Ooh, flush," and then she's, "My butthole's so clean you could eat out of." I'm like, what? What the fuck, bro? And it's bro, I don't know, man. So like I assume if Vice Vice should ask her. But the fact that he does this for 4 hours is literally insane. That's a little bit insane. Guys, tell me down below if you want me to do something like this.
But I definitely respect the dedication of the craft for sure.
Actually, let's get this. Let's get a comment if you want me, potted plant, and Swegwin all in a Discord call, just talking about our love for YouTube. That'd be sick. Swegwin, let me know if you're down to do that. Potted you too if you catch this.
Treat people with kindness.
Let's go. All right. Oh no. Juwario.
Justin Carmichel, better known online as Juwario, was a YouTuber formerly associated with Channel Awesome. He was most well known for his series You Can Play This, where he reviewed and ported Japan-only video games that were still playable by those who didn't speak the language. While he wasn't a crazy popular content creator, he still frequently appeared in collaborations with the Channel Awesome crew, such as films like Kickassia and Suburban Nights. He left Channel Awesome on February 15, 2013, while still continuing to upload to his personal channel, making You Can Play This episodes. However, a year later, on January 23rd, Justin's wife had announced that he had taken his own life with a shotgun after a lengthy bout with financial troubles and depression. Several fans and content creators outpoured with support for Justin, noting how amazing of a creator and a person he's always been, and how it was an immense shock that he was even depressed at all, much less to the point of suicide. There were
by this point, that's what I say, man. You never know, man. That's why you just you never know, man. That's I mean, I don't want to comment because I don't want to make this video. I could yap. Yeah, I'm a professional yapper. I could go on. I honestly hate that term because it's just talking. Like I could honestly go off and start talking some wisdom forever about this kind of topic, dude. You just really don't know what anyone is ever going through. But yeah.
Tons of tribute videos made in his honor, and even a heartfelt feature-length 2-hour conclusion to Justin's web series Fami Kamen Rider, titled Farewell Fami Kamen Rider, produced by Channel Awesome collaborator Kaylin Saucedo, also known as Mars Girl. Fast forward a couple years later. As I've already discussed, a massive 70-page document released in 2018 titled Not So Awesome. One anonymous contributor, pseudonym Jane Doe, detailed her experience working with a Channel Awesome collaborator that she opted to not mention that had sexually abused and groomed her, and
no, don't tell me it's this guy, right?
Other female members of the channel's fanbase. While the identity of the accused is meant to be redacted, chat logs showed that they were planning on kicking them out February 15, 2013, the exact same day that Justin had left Channel Awesome. About a week after the document released, a Reddit user posted that she had been raped by Justin in her sleep. The legitimacy of both of these claims had been verified by former Channel Awesome producers, and since that point, Juwario's heavily celebrated legacy had been tarnished as people learned the truth about him. As you might imagine, a person who had both committed suicide and later was known to have groomed minors is a bit difficult to talk about for really anyone.
I knew. I said it in my head and didn't say it out loud. Before I was going to click play, I was gonna go, don't tell me like we're about to find out. I got
On October
more.
15th, 2020, a gaming YouTuber by the name of Adam Butcher released a short video.
I'm not even fucking gonna enter any of these with. I'm not even gonna say anything about any of these people anymore. I mean, God, nope. He looks like a cool average guy.
Video essay simply titled What Happened to Crow 64. It was about an obscure Nintendo 64 platformer known as Catastrophe Crow that the uploader didn't even know existed until he found it by searching through old gaming magazines from the late 1990s. The game was highly anticipated as it was developed by esteemed German game designer Manfred Lorenz, founder of Opus Interactive. It was announced at Space World in 1997 and it seemed extremely promising, featuring groundbreaking level design and mechanics, and was meant to push the boundaries of player experience. However, the release date got pushed back and more, and disgruntled employees stated that their experience with working on the game was hellish, and that Manfred simply had lost his mind, destroying himself by continuing to work on the game for years, and eventually culminated with him leaving the country altogether. He then later drowned at sea, taking the game with him. Adam Butcher then reveals that he found a copy of Catastrophe Crow on eBay, and for the latter half of the video, he plays and commentates over it. Now, the thing with all this is that Catastrophe Crow was never a real game, and Manfred Lorenz isn't even a real person, neither was Opus Interactive. Everything in the video had been fabricated, including the magazine pages, the GameFAQs screenshots, the Space World footage, Everything was playing into the story that Adam Butcher had made up. While it is technically yet another gaming creepypasta, I have to say pretending to be a video essayist is a very convincing way to do it, even if it honestly did kind of fall apart when he started showing gameplay, as it doesn't really feel like things would happen in a real canceled game. Still, it's definitely—
That's freaking sick. What amount? That's a lot of dedication to do that, though.
been one of the more interesting ARGs so far.
Yeah, it's an ARG. Crazy. Unsearchable
On YouTube,
videos?
there are a sizable amount of videos that you cannot search for with traditional means, although that makes it sound a bit creepier than it actually is.
Yeah.
These videos use ASCII characters that YouTube's search function doesn't know how to register. Most notably of these is this video titled, which is
I love you, bro, for that, bro.
ASCII characters that YouTube's search function doesn't know how to register. Most notably of these is this video titled,
Oh, Metal Gear, bro.
which is simply a failed Mario Kart Wii speedrun. The reason you can't search for it is because these are Japanese punctuation marks, whereas Latin ones can be searched for perfectly fine. Another example of an unsearchable video would be this one by Vsauce titled,
That's so dumb, bro. I'm so glad. I'm so glad you did that, Swag. Oh my gosh. All right. I'm going to chop these up just in case I lose any footage. All right, let's go.
I think I've already gone over the idea of channels and videos that don't have a title, and all of those fall under the same umbrella, even though they're higher up on the iceberg.
FPS Russia. I know
Kyle
those.
Myers, better known online as FPS Russia, was a YouTuber who uploaded videos about his extensive collection of firearms and explosives, mainly using them to destroy various objects. In the videos, he played a character named Dmitry Potapov, a stereotypical Russian man, complete with an exaggerated thick accent. The channel launched in 2010, first making Call of Duty content before shifting his focus towards the content he's known for today. By 2012, he had entered the top 10 most subscribed YouTubers at the time for uniquely tapping into humanity's innate desire to see shit blow up, that no other channel really did. His channel's future was looking pretty promising, but in the first week of 2013, something completely changed the trajectory of his career. Keith Ratliff was Kyle's friend and a member of the FPS Russia channel, who had a federal firearms license which allowed him to obtain the weapons used in the videos. Keith was found on January 3rd, 2013, shot dead in his home. They never found out who shot him, and the mystery remains unsolved to this day. The FBI, trying to look into who was responsible for the murder, immediately laid their eyes on the first place they could really think to go. The #1 person on planet Earth associated with both firearms and Keith Ratliff,
FPS.
Kyle. Kyle's house was raided by upwards of 40 members of the ATF. They didn't find anything illegal, but he deleted several of his videos and went on a 9-month-long hiatus from the site, presumably spooked by the FBI. He returned in early 2014, although his uploads slowed quite significantly as, again, the FBI was closely monitoring everything he was doing and even threatened to raid him again if he misstepped. His channel gradually slowed to a standstill until 2016 when he stopped uploading for good. In 2017, Kyle's house was raided once more and they discovered 25 grams of hash oil. He was sent to prison for 2 months with 2 years of probation, along with nearly his entire prize collection of firearms confiscated. Today, Kyle is still seen on the Painkillers Already podcast he co-founded in 2010 with Woody's Gamertag and Wings of Redemption. Alisa Lamb.
Damn, dude. What? I don't even know what to really say about this one. Did he do it? Damn.
Kyle is still seen on the Painkillers Already podcast he
I
co-founded
know the name Wings of Redemption, but I don't really know what,
in 2010 with Woody's Gamertag and Wings of Redemption.
That's crazy. Alisa Lamb's, this is, somebody asked me to make a video on Alisa Lamb, I think. This is the girl, right, who was found in like the weird elevator. She was found in an elevator, acting weird. Not that the elevator was weird, but maybe it was. And it looked like some people thought she was interacting with a spirit or a ghost because she was like jumping in and out the elevator and looking around. So many people have theorized was somebody stalking her, was something like, it's very, very strange footage, and it's still undetermined on what it is right now. But her body was found in like the water tank or something. I don't know. This one's crazy. I'm gonna see Swag break it down.
Alisa Lamb was a Canadian tourist staying at a hotel in downtown Los Angeles.
Yeah.
She had been suffering from mental illness for quite some time, as she wrote about on her blog, and she traveled alone to California. She was assigned a couple of roommates at her hotel, but later moved on to a room of her own after her roommates complained about certain odd behavior. Then on January 31st, Alisa Lamb disappeared without a trace, and about 2 weeks later, LAPD released the last known footage of her before she disappeared, a surveillance camera tape of an elevator at the hotel. She's been entering and exiting the elevator while making strange gestures, and this video quickly became viral with several theories racing around as to what it means, like maybe she was hiding from an aggressor or under the influence of a drug. However, a few days later, her body was found in a water tank that provided for guest rooms, a kitchen, and a coffee shop, and the death was ruled an accidental suicide by drowning, as a result of what was most likely a psychotic episode of some sort. It's only tangentially related to YouTube, but yeah, you can watch it here, I guess. On the evening,
I don't know, I can't remember the YouTubers that I found cover it, but it was more like the like, not the true crime YouTubers, but they probably did cover it. But it was like a channel that's like Mr. Balin, or that like covered it, and covered kind of like, I don't know if he covered it, but a channel like his who covered the supernatural aspect behind it, or came from a supernatural perspective. But who knows? It was weird to listen to.
February 9th, 2004, a woman by the name of Mara Murray disappeared after a car crash on Route 112 near Haverhill, New Hampshire. No one knows what happened, and despite it happening nearly 20 years ago, no leads or even suspects have come forth. Well, actually, there was one suspect. There was this channel that started in February of 2011 that uploaded only one video titled Happy Anniversary. This video featured an elderly man sitting in front of a camera and laughing maniacally for a full minute before winking towards the camera while dramatic piano music played in the background. Now, you might be questioning how these two things are related. Well, people began to connect a few things. First off, the video was uploaded almost exactly 8 years after Mara had gone missing, which also ties into the title specifically mentioning an anniversary. Could just be a weird coincidence, but the channel name begs to differ. 112 Dirtbag. Mara Murray crashed her car on Route 112, and Mara Murray's father has called whoever the abductor is a dirtbag. All these things create the leading theory that the man in the video is the true aggressor of the crime, and whoever that old man is created this video to mock the family of Mara Murray. Well, the true story is a bit different. An investigation was started around the time internet users discovered this channel, and they found out that the man in the video is Massachusetts man Alden Olson. He did not kidnap Mara Murray, but unlike the High Walter video, he actually was intentionally trying to make it seem as if he was the one responsible. Why? Looking into Alden a bit deeper, he seems like an extremely mentally ill, possibly paranoid schizophrenic person, and is obsessed with the Mara Murray case. He has his own blog where he exclusively talks about the case, spouting off strange theories, and a lot of his posts appear to be taunting James Renner, an investigative journalist who got in the case around the same time that the Happy Anniversary is posted. Apparently, according to this blog post I found, Olson was also arrested in 2007 for threatening to murder his brother and sister, although at this point I'm getting completely off track. At the end of the day, 112 Dirtbag was just some creepy old guy who felt like fucking with people in a sick and twisted way.
See what I mean? When you hear stuff like this and you think about the guy that was sitting on stream for 4 hours just smiling, it's like, Japanese women in bathroom take poops. I'm not surprised anymore. And you know what makes it even weirder? You know what actually would make it weirder if she was actually taking a poop in the video. But I think, which one is weirder? The fact that she was like reenacting one of her poops? Yeah, maybe I just upload gameplay videos and just enjoy my time off the internet. Not these ads, bro. Look at these ads. Jesus. You could literally do a whole separate video on the Hero Wars ad videos. Jesus. Mumkey Jones. Okay.
Mumkey Jones, now known as Simeon Jimmy, is a YouTuber who is quite controversial among most users of the site. He's been uploading since 2007 when he was only 12 years old. However, he didn't really gain popularity until 2016 with the birth of his channel, Mumkey Jones. His content was expectedly edgy given the time period, and he gained a considerable following because of it. He had series such as Mumkey's Declassified Survival Guide, Mumkey's Anime Reviews, Is It Kino, and most famously, his video series where he talks about and mocks mass murderer Elliot Rodger. The videos, if taken at face value, seem to feature Mumkey praising Elliot Rodger's actions. However, it becomes quite obvious that the videos are sarcastic mockeries of his ideologies. YouTube staff didn't get the joke, however, and in December of 2018, Mumkey's YouTube account was terminated on the basis that his content was hate speech. He tried coming back a couple times, but every single time, his channel just kept getting terminated. Many saw it as a manifestation of YouTube censoring things that don't really need to be censored. It seems he's back on YouTube now, though, on the channel Simeon Jimmy. Austin Jones was a musician on YouTube who began posting as far back as 2007 when he was only 15, doing covers of popular songs, and soon branched out to producing EPs and albums.
Is this gonna take a fucking dark twist? I think Soygun was just about to say however as I paused it. Here we go.
However, nowadays, that isn't exactly what he's known for. In 2015, Austin Jones messaged one of his fans, an underage girl, convincing her to do a video twerking for him. The girl responded, saying that she didn't know how to twerk and asked him to show her. He then sent her a personal video tutorial by him on how to do the dance.
No. No. No.
Move. She did not follow the tutorial and instead posted publicly on Twitter for the world to see. A horde of justifiably angry fans lashed out at Austin, leading
No, bro, we're not about to just watch this. I'll watch this, not this year. I'm being dramatic.
to outright beg the girl to delete the post, not like it would help him, because he was going to go on tour very soon. She refused, and this led to an apology video titled Setting the Record Straight, where he tries his absolute hardest to make people feel bad for him. First, he admits that it's all true, and that he did ask his underage fans for twerking videos. Then he immediately shifts topics about how shitty his life is, talking about how his parents divorced, he planned suicide at one point, his father was an alcoholic.
Bro, you just in my own opinion, right? Oh, guys, I can't. It's really hard to be. It's hard to be how I am in real life and then be the entertainment side of me. Because then these videos dip into my beliefs a little bit. I mean, anything you do is going to be, because it's just like I'm not playing a character mostly in my videos, so it makes it hard. Because it's like, genuinely me as a person, it's hard to judge someone. And I'm not going to judge dude, but there's better ways to go about, like, if your life is just hell, like, trust me, coming from me. I don't know if I talked about it in the other icebergs. No, I probably left it out, the icebergs, because honestly, that's a topic kind of. Some people, when I tell my past, a little bit of some pieces of my past too, their jaw drops. Maybe better left out the iceberg, since these are supposed to be fun, but now they're going dark. So actually, you know, I retract that statement. But I just, coming from someone like me, there's just better ways. I don't know. Like, before you start messing with kids, you could always try suicide. No, I'm just joking. I'm joking. This is why I can't be my true self on YouTube. I'd be probably banned. Part of my true self. I need to go shoot some Superland. I can't be watching this stuff while I'm tired. You know what I just did? I've been up since 6. I've been shooting regular commentary videos. Then I did a almost 4-hour stream of just losses on Valorant. I got my first ranked win. I was like hype. I was, oh, these are going to be good games. Got some new peeps in the Twitch chat from the game. And then every game after that was an L. So I'm recording this after all L's.
Like, his older sister passed
My
away.
sanity's
He never
gone.
saw his mother. All this shit. That was most
damn.
likely genuinely very hard to deal with.
Yeah,
assuming it's
definitely.
true. But, of course, he was using these things to distract from the main issue at hand.
Exactly. Yeah.
He's a fucking pedophile. Of course.
Exactly. And that's the problem. And you can't pull on someone's heartstrings like that, dude. Like, you really can't.
His fans completely bought his apology, and he continued uploading YouTube videos while still facing overwhelming support from his fanbase. Then 2 years later, in 2017, he was arrested for possession and assisting in the production of child pornography.
I'm not going to say anything on this. I'm just going to keep going.
Sentenced to 10 years in prison to absolutely no one's surprise.
Life of Luxury, her son can't stop growing at night. Oh, is this going to be another horror ARG or something like that?
Life of Luxury is a horror
Oh,
YouTube series that
this!
started in 2019.
This
The
creep.
plots usually revolve around two friends.
I'm gonna let Swagwin kill this. I absolutely hate this. This actually freaked me out. Am I about to like choke myself? Jeez. This absolutely freaked me out. I'm not gonna lie. It's just the elongated humanoid body. I think is one of the best things as a horror creature, and not even because of Slenderman. It's literally just elongated humans are like weirdly, like oddly just proportioned beings in a horror aspect are so terrifying. Slenderman doesn't even take the cake with that. He's just a long boy, one long staticky boy. But this shit right here, nah.
Parker and Chester, as they go to the homes of victims of hauntings and otherwise supernatural occurrences. The most popular of their videos is Her Son Can't Stop Growing at Night, which features a lady that reports her son has weird growths at night that cause him to look like this monster, and he gains aggressive behavior. These videos are quite obviously fake, but the production value is still higher than your average 3am YouTuber. Haunt is a stop-motion horror short film released on YouTube all the way back in 2006, created by British film student Glenn Zimitor. It's about 4 minutes long, and the plot basically follows this young girl going to bed. She then looks out her window and sees a mysterious figure standing there. It gradually gets closer to her throughout the rest of the video, before it's finally revealed at the end that the figure is now inside her house. It enters a room with a brief jump scare in the final seconds, and that's where the video ends. Surprisingly, I don't have much else to say on this one, but you should check out this video by a severely underrated YouTuber I found named Jack the Artisan, if you want to learn more about the production of the video. Link, as always, in the description.
So glad I'm clearing this out as it's getting towards nighttime, dude. Fuck. Paranormal Lana missing?
Paranormal Lana was a YouTuber who joined in 2014. She primarily made horror content such as videos about real-life events, spooky.
Somebody that makes horror content and then goes missing. This is gonna turn into another ARG and she's actually fine, or she actually went missing. I'm being safe and assuming that because it's on an iceberg, you never know. It could go either way. That's it. But if she's actually missing and she's gone and she was never found, that is sad. Let's find out.
Stories, paranormal events, and other things of that nature. And she was most well known for a video about the Alisa Lamb situation. She was fairly popular, however, in 2015 she disappeared without a trace. She deleted all of her social media accounts, including YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Even Rainbot, a fellow content creator who was planning on doing a collaboration video with Alana, had no idea where she went. However, after looking through her old tweets, we can find that she was dealing with a stalker, so the most likely explanation is that she gave up her online identity to avoid said stalker, which is unfortunately more common than you might think.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like actually, I actually had like, well, I don't want to say this actually, right? Like, probably best in a commentary video. Probably not the massive YouTube iceberg. Let's say that. Some things are just better in the commentary videos. That's why you guys got to stay around for the commentary videos.
Unfavorable Semicircle is a channel that was created in 2015. They began uploading in April of that year, and when I say uploaded, they fucking uploaded. At its peak, the channel uploaded 2 to 3 videos every 2 minutes. While the channel was still active, tens of thousands of videos were posted, most of which were only a few seconds long, but some were as long as 11 hours. Almost all the videos featured strange abstract imagery, an unidentified voice saying a letter or number, and random blasts of loud noise. The title was always the Sagittarius ASCII symbol followed by a random 6-digit code. Parallels might have already been drawn in your mind to Semicircle's older brother, WebDriver Torso, which existed around the same time frame. However, as it would turn out, there's no real familial ties, if you catch my drift. Unfavorable Semicircle, as fate would have it, actually had no ties to YouTube or Google, and instead was just an unidentified person uploading these videos. A small subreddit started soon after people noticed the channel in order to investigate and speculate into the channel's origins. Hell, the channel even got the attention of mainstream media outlets such as BBC, CNET, and Atlas Obscura. However, on February 25th, 2016, the Unfavorable Semicircle account was suspended for terms of service violations, more specifically, their policy against spam. So what, they're allowed to do it but we're not? Since it's doubtful that YouTube would terminate its own channel, this outright confirmed that it was something a bit more interesting than Mr. Torso over here. Further investigation into these strange videos revealed some hidden details that later expanded into, you guessed it, another ARG. Unfavorable Semicircle lore runs pretty deep, with the true identity of the creator remaining a mystery. However, nowadays it seems to be over, and who I assume to be the creator posted this to Twitter in 2022 with a post titled Answers. The post goes in depth on the intentions of the project and that, breaking it down as simply as possible, it was meant to feel as inhuman and confusing as possible. What's interesting about this post is that while the Unfavorable Semicircle community seems to agree that this really is the creator, I couldn't find a single video on YouTube that mentions this. Maybe I'm the first.
That's cool if you are. That's really cool.
Popblast.
I imagine some of these channels really do pop up for things like that because, you know, oddly, I get those urges to do that, if that makes sense. You know, I want to explain something, but I want to give little hints throughout my commentary videos and string them together. So I don't want to talk about certain plans I have right now. But Popblast
was a YouTube channel that had nearly 700,000 subscribers before it was terminated. The channel, from what I can gather, seemed to be a strange content farm channel that created false conspiracy theories about fellow content creators and other celebrities in an effort to gain attention and money from the YouTube algorithm. They became most famous in 2018 for their video accusing Shane Dawson of being a pedophile using spliced podcast clips as evidence, and notably saying that 2 of his significant others have baby faces. Now pause. Shane Dawson's definitely fucking weird. When people talk about the Popblast situation, they bring up how the clips were spliced up, but really I can't see a situation where these are okay things to say. In the clips he talks about how masturbating to images of children shouldn't be vilified and compares it to foot fetishes. He also remarks that he met a 6-year-old one time that he thought was kind of sexy. This channel was kind of ahead of its time because 2 years later Shane Dawson was slammed by the YouTube community for many other comments that surfaced, but that's a whole separate controversy and I'm getting off track. Popblast, after posting this video, released a series of strange videos once they started getting attention. These videos would feature strange codes with hidden messages in them that
What the fuck? See, pay attention to this shit. If I start doing this, guys, send help.
seemed to be them saying they were paid $6,500 to make the Shane Dawson video by a man named Jeffrey Oscar Levin, which is the name of Logan Paul's manager. Realistically though, that was probably faked, and whoever was running this channel was probably doing anything they could to cause as much outrage as possible before they got their channel taken down.
See, I can't. There you go. You guys got me in here. Conspiracy, boop, boop. I definitely do believe that there are channels out there that do get paid off, though. And I think about the dead internet theory, and that's why. And almost if you tie in the, the political extremists, like YouTube rabbit hole, or like getting pushed certain people, or just certain things like that. Because I always ask myself, not necessarily like that they're bad, but like drama channels, right? I don't really even. Oh, I got deja vu again. What the fuck? No way. I just got wild deja vu. I'm about to just move on. Holy shit. Emergency alerts. Oh, damn. Never mind, holy shit.
I believe this entry refers to videos where people re-upload emergency alert systems, more commonly the ones broadcast on TV.
These remind me of like Local 58, because they're Local 58, like the ARG stuff is supposed to be based off of these, right?
Ranging from several different countries, such as the EAS we have in the States, the Canadian Alert Ready system, and many more. These are usually characterized by random, unwarned interruptions of broadcasts, loud beeping sounds, and a low-quality voice recording of a stern voice telling you that something has gone wrong. These emergency alerts often fascinate certain parts of YouTube in a way that could be compared to anti-piracy screens. Something about the fact that it interrupts everything without warning to play a loud noise because something bad happened just makes people so invested in these. Hell, some people even make fake emergency alerts like anti-piracy screens for similar reasons. Local 58, which I've mentioned a couple times, is pretty much entirely preying off the fear of these, as are several other analog horror web series. Emergency alerts always spooked me a bit more than the anti-piracy screens, because I'm pretty sure I've literally seen some of these before in an obscured, hazy childhood memory.
Yeah, me too, yeah.
Christina Grimmie, sometimes known online as Zelda X Love 64, was a singer, YouTuber, and actress. She got her start in 2009 posting covers of songs to YouTube, and from there she would gain more and more attention as time went on. She was a contestant on season
Okay, good, we're good.
6 of The Voice, which got her recognition from big-time musicians such as Adam Levine and Lil Wayne, who both offered to sign her to their record labels. She released 2 studio albums in 2013 and 2017, several EPs and singles, and her YouTube channel was flourishing as well. It would seem Christina had a pretty promising career ahead of her, but as fate would have it, that would be cut short. In 2016, in Orlando, Florida, she performed live at the Live Plaza Theater. After the performance, she held a meet and greet around 10 p.m. Then she was fatally shot by a man by the name of Kevin James Loibel after she opened her arms to give him a hug, before committing suicide himself. Apparently, according to police investigation, Loibel had an unhealthy and unrealistic infatuation with Christina, and would vainly attempt to make himself more physically attractive with things like weight loss, hair plugs, and eye surgery, even though up to this point, he had never directly interacted with each other. He then developed the mentality of, if I can't have you, no one can, which tragically led to the end of her life. The news broke the hearts of many of her friends, family, and fans, all who saw her with an incredibly bright future.
Red licorice or black licorice?
Wow, that's actually a cool ad. They're playing on the whole Matrix thing. Red pill or blue pill, that's pretty cool. I'm gonna actually watch this ad real quick. Definitely still not interested in buying licorice after that. Gemini Home Entertainment. This is a... What is this? I know this.
Gemini Home Entertainment is an analog horror web series started in 2019 by Remy Abbo. The series has a similar aesthetic to many others in its genre, taking place in the 1980s and 90s, and visually presents itself as a collection of VHS tapes produced by several fictional companies and distributed by the company Gemini Home Entertainment. These VHS tapes can range from commercials, home videos, public service announcements, and many other things. While these videos all usually stand on their own, it leads up to one big narrative of essentially the impending end of the world through extraterrestrial invaders that are significantly stronger than us humans. Through the series, they're only planning the invasion, but at the same time influencing life on Earth. If you can't tell by that 2.5 hour long Nexpo video, shit runs pretty deep. I'll link said video in the description, as well as a playlist of all the episodes so you can watch it for yourself. It's one of the best analog horror series out there.
Analog horror.
The Maker is an award-winning stop-motion short film written and directed by Christopher Cazellos. It stars this strange, rabbit-looking guy as he stitches together what appears to be a female member of his species. As he's doing this, he's constantly looking over at this hourglass, which is going down fast. Then, he finally finishes her and the time runs out, and he fades away, implying her to start the cycle all over again. I love this shit. The visuals are unsettling but appealing, and the twist at the end is great. Not much else to say about this one, it's just a really great short.
Pizza Time Pizza.
Pizza Time Pizza is a web series created by Alex Bale, started in 2017. It follows a pizza restaurant called Pizza Time Pizza that's certainly not a cult or anything, just a family restaurant. The first video is what seems to be a parody of pizza commercials, although near the end of the video, the camera zooms out to someone eating the advertised pizza, then collapsing to the floor with the words "kill your parents" repeating over and over again. After that, the series branched out into 15 main videos, each building up to, you guessed it, an ARG. It included a couple secret videos, bumping the reel count up to 44, and a separate website. You know the drill by this point. Explanation video in the description, this time by Inside a Mind.
What the fuck? Comment section journals? Okay, one sec. Alrighty.
This may or may not come as a surprise to some of you, but I fucking love the YouTube comment section. There's something about it that just feels so much different compared to basically any other social media. Maybe because it's decentralized, for lack of a better term, so there's no real average YouTube commenter. When you think of the average Twitter post, or the average Reddit post, or even the average 4chan post, you get a pretty idea in your head of what that's like. However, with YouTube comments, you can really get fucking anything. Some of my favorite posts are from going on like Friday Night Funkin' videos and looking at the comment section to see what the little kids have to say about their favorite mods. Another example of what I'm talking about is the now defunct internet checkpoints, where people would leave live updates on Japanese uploads of Super Nintendo music. That's a great example of a comment section journal. However, it's far from the only example on YouTube. In the comment section of this specific upload of Claire de Lune, you can find a user by the name of Mr. Tortilla. He has been using the comment section as his diary for the past 2.5 years or so and doesn't seem to show any sign of stopping. You can go to the comment section right now, sort by newest, and find a comment by Mr. Tortilla that's most likely posted no later than 24 hours ago. And this isn't even the only example of this, as he's inspired several other users in the comment section to start their own diaries. While researching, I also found this commenter on Porter Robinson's Shelter, named Just Jeff, who's been going for nearly 4 years and possibly started the trend. It's a really interesting trend, and it just makes the YouTube comment section that much more comfier.
That's actually beautiful. Nah, no lie, that's actually beautiful. That's so cool. Like, I feel like you can find purpose in doing anything, even when it comes to like the videos that we may find a little bit weird and cringe such as the one that I found with the Japanese lady shitting in the toilet, but like the guy smiling and it's just like very strange performance art, or everything else. I feel like you can, or that group that started drinking water. What was it? The daily water drinkers or whatever, and they had like a water drinker statistics list. Excuse me. I think a lot of that stuff is really beautiful. And that's why I always really do still lean on the internet being a really good thing. But just like a lot of the negative sides of it are highlighted more. And I think that's honestly because fear is easier to control people than highlighting a lot of the good that comes from a lot of places on the internet. But there is a lot of weird and fucked up shit. But that's like really hard to say, because then you got to like try to quantify how much of the other side of the spectrum it is. And honestly, for me, doing this YouTube channel like opened me up to connect with Swegwin. And I would say a lot of that stuff is a very positive thing. And not just Sweg, but like, dude, like Cracker Milk, Surreal Entertainment, like watched one of my videos that I reacted to. I don't know if it's a girl or a guy, but one of his videos. I've got to work with indie game developers. So this is just like, this made me branch off into that. Because again, this is exactly why I love YouTube too, because it feels like I wouldn't have been able to do this if I had a Twitter with the same amount of people on my YouTube on Twitter. Nah, I just something's just different about YouTube. Yeah, it's YouTube. Get it? The YouTube. I just really love it. Really good branding. BreadTube.
BreadTube, also known as LeftTube, is a loose group of YouTubers who create content relating to a generally left-wing political perspective. The community doesn't have an attributed origin date, but it rose to popularity as a way to combat the far-right anti-SJW movement that was quite popular in the mid-2010s. The idea was that they would take back the algorithm from the far-right guys I was talking about in the last video. Popular BreadTube content creators include HBomberGuy, ContraPoints, Sean, Hassan Piker, Destiny, and Vaush. I don't like because he appropriated Conti from Fully Cooley by sticking his face on top of him. That's not related to anything, I just wanted to express my grievances. BreadTubers usually have significant...
Nah, the recent thing I heard about Vaush, or Vosh, I hear people say Vosh. This is the first time I've heard Vaush, but yo... For some reason, I recently discovered Rev Says Desu during the whole Power World stuff going on and the controversy around Power World, and that's when I discovered Vosh. And oh my gosh, then I seen a controversy that Vosh got in where he didn't delete this folder, and I'm just like, wow. Like, he used to call, like, I guess the people that are into that certain content weird, but then he ended up exposing himself and accidentally showing a folder that he had with all of what he was calling people weird for, which is funny because it's like anytime you outwardly judge someone, you know it's projection. Like, that's why it's like just any judgment, if it's not coming from a base of like unbiased, like it's like more critical, like you're criticizing something, but you're genuinely coming from a constructive like criticism point of view. That's a lot different from then just straight up judging a group of people. Usually when you have to judge something outside of yourself, like, and it's not passing judgment on like something that'll better your life. So judgment for yourself, judging whether a decision will help you. When you judge someone else and just for no reason, you just got something to say. You just like, I don't like this person's shoes. It's usually like an insecurity from somewhere. It just usually is. Or it is an observation, right? But from what I've seen in my reality, every time it's someone talking about the actions of another person, it's because either they wish they were doing it or they are doing it in secret. So it's like the hypocrite thing, or maybe genuinely they just don't like it and they're an asshole. But I mean, to judge someone else anyways, I feel like that's to automatically make yourself lower than someone. If you need to judge someone else, it's like that comes from a weird place. Because then when you talk about criticism, that's just in a different spectrum. The words hold different meanings, so it's just like, yeah, just judgments. Yeah, I don't know. I see. Here we go. Professionally talking again. Let's go.
Significantly high production value to their videos. Now, some of these people have done questionable things, so I'm not going to get super in-depth about this one, as that's a political rabbit hole I don't really feel like going down.
Oh, yeah. Actually, Hassan's recent one that I heard too was when, the reason that pops up in my algorithm, and I think is because it was a general statement, but with Hassan, it was like being a streamer is hard, but being honest, I'm not going to get into 100% of that because like Swagman just said, it's a rabbit hole for each person, like Destiny, But the thing I remember about Hassan recently was he was giving a point of view for, I guess, where he was at streaming, but there are so many people that run with it. And now, listen, I don't want to say I don't do or don't like Hassan. I've had interactions with him in chat before where I gave him a really good point of view and I would watch him read my whole comment and just ignore it. Like he wouldn't touch on it, which made me think, okay, these guys actually they look for certain comments to attack. Like if someone's giving a really dumb take, it's more entertaining to go at someone that I guess for some people that is just easily able to beat rather than someone that makes you think. Anyways, what I'm gonna say is I remember that this was years ago, by the way. It's not anytime soon. I don't pay attention to these guys, but I would watch Hassan when he would like he played like BioShock once, and I was like, whoa, Hassan's playing BioShock, but I leave all that I leave the politics alone. But I remember this whole thing about the whole streaming is hard, and I remember wanting to make a video because like they were saying it's because I don't know, something about Hassan already being from a wealthy family beforehand saying that statement, but some people took it and ran with it. And I was like, okay, in all honesty, if you're someone who like works a normal job, maybe even works 2 jobs, and you're trying to be a content creator and stream, then yeah, when we bring in the different nuances to the scenarios, that would probably be one of the hardest things you do because you're building from the ground up. But nothing is impossible, and you got to believe in yourself. But yeah, Hassan making that statement about streaming and everything is harder than a regular job, I could see where people were like fucking pissed. But there's also nuances to everything. But people just don't care to see any. People hopped on him instantly. I felt bad. But I remember that popped up in my algorithm because I think that was around some of the content I was consuming, like different people's takes on making content, real job, just everything, around that time.
Doga is something I've covered a couple times over the course of the past, like, 2 tiers. But if you need a recap, it's basically a Japanese equivalent to YouTube that's peaked around the mid to late 2000s and early 2010s. A couple entries we've talked about so far find their origins on the side of the internet, including Youngcat, Caramel Dancin', Ronald McDonald Insanity, Bad Apple, and any Toho-related thing on YouTube for that matter. And Nico Nico Doga, much like YouTube, also has its fair share of creepy videos and stuff like that. There are, of course, the disturbing Vocaloid songs that I've already covered, usually complete with disturbing Vocaloid imagery, and a video.
I remember streaming on Kick, and somebody was surprised that I knew what Vocaloids were. I was like, yeah, man, I've been on the internet a while, dude. But this dude ended up dropping the lore, or maybe a girl, the lore on Vocaloids and what a Vocaloid was, and I can't remember all the details now, but that blew my mind.
Titled SM666. Which is a video where a user tries to go to a Nico Nico channel simply titled 666, and it returns no results. They tried refreshing, and eventually they find the channel, and everything is red and creepy, and, wait a second. Yeah, it turns out username 666 was actually not the original version of this video, and instead it was the localized Western version made by the same person. I didn't even know this when I first covered username 666 earlier in the series. It's kind of embarrassing. Potted Plant himself also recommended I talk about this video titled Yuru Yuri Opening 2, which seems to be a bait and switch upload of the second opening of an anime titled Yuru Yuri. It starts out normally, but then this girl's doing the weird face, and then by the end they're all doing this weird face, and yeah, it's pretty freaky. At the end of the day though, I have a hunch that a lot of Nico Nico Doga videos were probably considered a lot more creepy than they really were, because Americans weren't used to Japan's unique brand of weirdness yet.
Alright, we're at 29, so I'm going to go ahead and start the second video. I mean, I could do it in one, but it makes it easier to just compile it together and then throw it in the editor. So I'm going to split this up. I'm going to do probably to tier 5 part 1. We'll see how I'm feeling. But alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Shout out to Swagman as always. And I got something to say in the beginning of the next part, but thank you guys for watching. Much love and Moonlight. Remember to be authentic, and I'll see you in the next part. Peace.